Hello, everybody, and welcome here to Knockout Qualifying to set our grid for tomorrow's Coca-Cola Super Speedway season opener for the 2024 edition of the PCS Ray Presents the ARCA Menards series getting set to go. So we have 70 entries. Yes, you heard that right. 70 are going to attempt, and here is one of them. It's Alex Centavitali in the number 16 machine. How will this play out as far as the go-or-go homers are concerned? We're going to have 35 drivers make from each group. They will come out, do 20 minutes of group practice and qualifying is what you would basically call it. Whoever is in the top 21 after these two sessions that you will see here on the Blue Hedgehog TV, they will make your main event for tomorrow's race. Tomorrow morning, when these drivers get up, those that make the field, they will be getting ready for qualifying. That will take place in the morning, and then get ready for the race itself following that. And because this is the first season with this series, the ARCA Menards series, this is kind of like a mock series. There's going to be a lot of drivers competing for the Rookie of the Year honor. So this could be one of those interesting ones if you ask me. This is the first one up is Alex Centavitali. If I mispronounce his last name, I do apologize. I'm just trying to learn names as far as that is concerned. I've never had Alex Centavitali in this series before. This will be a first. As Alex looks like he's about to catch some cars here. Some cars have already set their first time lap, but that's because the start-finish line was ahead of their pit stall, and it's a 57.631 for the Napa Chevrolet. That would be Logan Burton and Kyler Anderson, the two cars that they have caught. May actually just hold off the Rookie of the Year honors until next year. Yahoo Toyota and the trying to think what the sponsor says. Oh, it's the Chevrolet on the 28 machine. All those drivers are just trying to get to the start-finish line to complete their first official time lap. Lucian Bianchi in the 17 machine. We'll see how he does in his debut race. Of course, I already did Daytona, but the problem was the racing wasn't really that good. So, Carolina Bradley, and that's Ponzo Albanese. For those that don't remember, Ponzo Albanese was one of three drivers that were a part of DVR who ran in the GTS Array. He's driving for Nice Motorsports in the number 40 machine. The WWEX Racing Chevrolet for Nice Motorsports. There's Morgan Le Fay in the 2. Zach Lambert in the 11. Wyatt Sanders in the 03. This ride was driven by April Winters last season. She is still on that team. Paul Diamond for GMS Racing. Angie Burton for Our Motorsports. Or I think it's either Our or Young Motorsports. I don't know. Rachel Sutton, who ran the East Series race last week at Bristol. Jack Smith in the 01, trying to make his debut. Erica Douglas. Glad to see Erica Douglas back in the ARCA series. Erica didn't have a good season the last time she was in the ARCA series, so she'll look to redeem herself. Timo Mauser, there's Trinity Lee, Josh Rogers, and that's Kurt Campbell, former E-Series champ, moved up to the main series. Boris Camp. Trix Christensen in the 15. She looks to make her debut. Laura Bridges, Skylar Taylor, Josh McDowell, Alyssa Albon. I was trying to think who it was, and there's her brother Lucas. Weren't good at the Daytona test that I did. Alex Winters, Chad Bowman driving for David Gilliland Racing, Kevin Lambert, Blake Peppers, Margaret Jacobs. This is a second ride. The Brad Smith Motorsports team. This is their second car, the 49. You'll see the 48 in group number 2. Cleopatra Gamal, Evan Murdoch, Jocelyn Hawkins in the Mustang, Maisie Creighton, Derek Elwood trying to make his debut. There's Logan Burton, Ponzu Albanus. And basically, I've covered a lot of people. There's Zach Lambert. Right now, the 21 is the quickest car. That would be Paul Diamond, 54.242. This is a 3-mile super speedway, kind of similar to M&M's super speedway. Diamond still to slow down a lot on his lap. 25. Let me make sure I didn't derp on who is in what ride. Josh Roberts. Trying to make sure I did not screw it up. Just looking through the entry list, making sure I didn't make a mistake to where I accidentally did put a driver in there. And looks like to me, I'm just being, looks like I didn't make a mistake. Cool. I just want to make sure I didn't make a mistake. If I did, I do apologize. Because I made that fatal mistake last year in the Monster Energy Series where I had a driver in there twice instead of only in there once. So I'm just double checking the entry list to make sure that mistake is not made. And if there is a mistake before I record, I will correct that little mistake. Right now, Morgan Le Fay is on the bubble. I forgot to tell you all this. Morgan Le Fay is out of Carnage Racing, which is part of Sean Art's team. As we're about to be at the midway point of this first round of qualifying. As I said, we have 70 cars here this weekend for the 42 starting positions. A lot of good cars will unfortunately have to go home. 28 to be exact. And those 28 drivers will be in go or go home qualifying. Now, the only catch I can say is I had something itching on my ear, my right ear. The only thing I can make an exception is that there are some driver, and of course, now, some people are going to say, you know, why we got Carolina Bradley in here and blah, 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 blah. Well, the ARCA rules for PCS Array do not apply to this series. Same with East and West, unlike when it applied to the Coca-Cola Trucks, Buffalo Wild Wings, and Monster Energy series. So there you go. munching on some ice, if you all don't mind. I also should point this out to everybody. This series will be coming out. There's going to be a couple of events this season that we're going to have quote unquote double headers on this channel, because this series will be in a mix of, or actually I'm going to put it on the days that's not going to conflict the Diva stuff, which I will get back on the Diva stuff as soon as possible. There's going to be sometimes I'm going to probably stream some Diva stuff on Twitch, but I need to get somebody to help me trying to get the live stream to work as far as the audio for my laptop on, so when I stream it on Twitch, we'll be okay. Morgan Le Fay is on the outside looking in. Now it's the 40 car right here. That's not the 40. That's the 40. Ponzo Albanese. Ponzo Albanese is from Italy. Have I mentioned about Vinco Seaman? Let me see if Vinco is in this field. If not, he's in the next qualifying session. Yeah, I think he's in the next qualifying session. Same with another girl that's also was a part in the Vinco Seaman, who will become the first Macedonian driver to race in the ARCA series. And Elena Aurora, you will see those two in the next session, as Albanese, the graduate of the GTS Array. Of course, he is old enough to race in the Munster Energy Series if he so chooses, but it would be better off if I let him run all three series. We're down to 7 minutes to go. Let me look and see how far these cars can go on a fuel run. 52 laps. Don't think fuel mileage is going to be a problem tomorrow. Right now, the 4 car of Kurt Campbell is the quickest in this session, 54.058. Right now, he would be locked into the show. There's Avon Murdoch. Trix Christensen, the female driver. And we've had a wreck somehow. We're going to have to stop the session. That would be Alyssa Albon. Apparently, we've had a wreck in turn number 3. I may have to go back and see who it involved, because I'm going the wrong way. Derek Elwood had something to do with this? No. Let's pause it right here. Had a big wreck in turn number 3. We had a lot of skid marks. Oh, here it is. The 13. That's Dakota Lee. Or Trinity Lee, sorry. Maisie Creighton. Erica Douglas. Oh, Josh McDowell blew up. See what happened to Joshy here. Was right behind Alex. And kablamo. Josh McDowell is locked into the show as of now, but I wonder if he'll have to go to a backup engine, have to start the rear of the field. If that is indeed the case, that's not good. Yeah, he got on the apron and locked up. Nowhere for Timo Mauser to go. Maisie Creighton, Erica Douglas, Trinity Lee, and Maisie Creighton involved. Creighton wasn't running well. And then, pow! The 7 of Blake Peppers got a piece of it. I didn't realize he was involved. Wow, there's going to be a lot of drivers going to backup cars. And those drivers are going to have to go to the care center. Trinity Lee is in the field right now. But because they've gone to backup machines during this qualifying session, they will have to start the rear of the field as a result. And those that are safe, the 8 car is now on the bubble. And he was the one that triggered that multi-car accident. There's Derek Elwood. Erica Douglas. Looks like, I don't know if this is, yeah, they're telling me this is a backup car. Because remember, aerodynamics at Coke Super Speedway is very, 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 very important. Kurt Campbell running the old 43 Petty GMS car from last season, or from 2022. Of course, GMS Racing closed down their operations this past season as I'm recording this. Boy, there's going to be some cars. Timo Mauser's in the field, but because he went to a backup car, he will have to go to the rear of the field as a result. And remember, these drivers will go to the infield care center once this session is done. Creighton, Lee, Mauser, Josh McDowell. Nothing Josh could have done. I mean, it was nobody's fault, especially Josh McDowell, who was trying to get to pit road, clipped the apron. Thank goodness for them. They're getting some laps now in their backup car. They had to quickly go to pit road. Right now, the 8 car is on the bubble. And we might see a faster speed in here. Uh-oh. Somebody came off pit road. Who was that? That would be Paul Diamond. Okay. Not good for a couple of drivers who will be going to the rear of the field for tomorrow's race. There's Alex Winters. I did forget about her, but Alex Winters now driving the 3. This is the same team she drove last season when she drove the 03, which is now Wyatt Sanders. There's Trinity Lee. Trinity is also going to be another gal that will have to go to the rear of the field tomorrow due to being in a backup car and having to start at the rear of the field, which, let's be honest, if you have to start at the rear of the field, you can make up a lot of spots here. Alex Winters just caught that 13 pretty good. Skylar Taylor right now on the cusp of possibly missing the show. As we're down to the final 45 seconds, Laura Bridges is done. Laura Bridges is going to be one of the 28 drivers who will have to go home. There's going to be a lot of names that may not make the show as they're about to pass Alyssa Albon. Albon's only hitting 188. I don't know if she's got an engine problem or something. We'll see if she can try to improve her time, but that's never good when you're all by yourself. And what in the world is the 18 of Lucas Albon doing? And that means time has expired. The 54 of Chad Bowman is on the bubble. Chad Bowman, can he make the field or is somebody going to bump him? I know Laura Bridges won't make the show. Red and black flags. Chad Bowman, 54-333. In for now. 17 on the bubble. That's Bianchi. Does the 16 have an answer? No is the answer. Laura Bridges is going to not make the show. Albanus, second quickest. He will race tomorrow. Zach Lambert will not make the show. Jake Rogers don't make the show. Wow. Lucian Bianchi, you are the luckiest driver on the face of the planet. 4/1000ths of a second separates Lucian Bianchi racing tomorrow and Alex Centavitali going home. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So the drivers that will make the show are Rachel Sutton, Ponzo Albanus. Well, that makes me pleased. Timo Mauser, Morgan Le Fay. Well done, young lady. You pleased team owner Sean Hart. That's for damn sure. Logan Burton, Alex Winters, Kyler Anderson, Trinity Lee. Good job to Trinity, although she will be going to the rear of the field in a backup car after getting caught up in a wreck, but it doesn't matter to Trinity because anything can happen on a super speedway. Skylar Taylor, Lucas Albon, Kurt Campbell's Wyatt Sanders, Erica Douglas, Paul Diamond, Trix Christensen, Andy Burton, Jack Smith, Avon Murdoch. So that's two of Skylar Taylor's drivers that made the show. Chad Bowman, Carolina Bradley, and Lucian Bianchi got the final spot in the show. Good job to him. Sadly, the drivers who will not make the race include Alexander Vitelli, Maisie Creighton, Josh Rogers, Zach Lambert, Josh McDowell, Alyssa Albon, Cleopatra Gamol, Derek Elwood, Laura Bridges, Boris Camp, Kevin Lambert, Margaret Jacobs, Blake Peppers, and Jocelyn Hawkins. Those drivers will not race tomorrow, and we'll have to look to Michigan in a couple of weeks' time to try to make their first start of the season. But don't go anywhere, folks. On the other side of the break, Group 2 will be coming out. We'll find out which 21 drivers will join these 21 drivers, and we'll be back right after this. You're watching the PCS Ray on the Blue Hedgehog TV. We welcome you guys back to the Coca-Cola Super Speedway for Group 2 qualifying. And lovely everybody, the sun has come out, which could play a major factor in how these times are going to shake up during the course of this session. Of course, we were in cloudy conditions for Group 1. We're going to find out what kind of times we'll see during the day with the sun being out, which the temperatures are now going up, and the track temperatures are going to play a major factor during the course of this group here. And one of the drivers, the first of 35 in this group, is Esther Roberts, last year's Daytona winner from the retired AutoZone Amateur Series. Esther Roberts, ever since winning Daytona last season in the final Amateur Series season, she had a horrible year. And if I had to do owner points, this is going to be one of the cars that would be borderline of making the race. So if I was in her position, I think she's going to have to make the show. And if there's one driver who really needs to turn it around, it would be her. Esther starting her time as we're now counting down to the start of this session. 87 already put a time on the board, but that was because the pit stall was behind the start-finish line. That's Rickshaw Miller, and the 55 of Ariel Moore is driving the car that won the championship last season with Ingrid Pollard, who will be racing in the Truck Series for 2024. You will see her a little bit later on in 2024. All these drivers that have times on the board, that's because their pit stalls were behind the start-finish line, so it will be actually their first official timed lap. And let's see, the 97's first lap will be, it's going to be a 59.351, which I know is going to get beaten real quickly. Going 183 miles an hour. Alexandre Sarnes, Drake Robertson, the 48. Fallon Bradley, his sister made the show. So Fallon Bradley, trying to make sure both of the Bradley siblings make the show. Luna Farmer in the number 74 machine. Let me actually look and see if the 49 made the race or not. Margaret Jacobs did not make the show, so there's Josh Quake in the 75, Kiki Honeyman in the 66, sorry. Fabian Tesser, or no, this is Felicia Tesser, I'm sorry. Fabian Tesser will be in the Truck Series you'll see later this season. Liliana Beta, this is a gal who really had a nightmare year last year. Look to bounce back. Skylar Davidson in the 35 machine. That's the car that won Daytona last year. Sebastian Palmer trying to make his debut in the 46. There's Dylan Van Dyke in the 95 with Lucy Granger, who ran okay in the amateur series, driving the 47 that's now driven by Bradley Ream this year. Lucy Granger driving for Kimmel Racing in that 69. Yes, I said that dreadful number, but to be fair, there is a catch about that rule where I can say it and not get yelled at. Scott Forrest in the 88 machine. A driver I have never heard of before. I have no notes about Scott Forrest, and we can't wait to see what he can do here in that number 88 Ford. Brooke Packett driving the 58 machine. Here's the other driver that was the second of, there's two of them in this session. Elena Aurora, the Spaniard, the 31-year-old driver from Spain, who ran in GTS Array under Diego Voiles Racing and is still under the DVR development program. She is the oldest at the age of 31. Addison Peterson running in the ARCA series. Of course, she is still the points leader who's been doing good in the Red Bull GT series during the off season. That's keeping her busy. And here's the other one, Venko Seaman, the first Macedonian driver to make a start in the ARCA series. Can't wait to see how he does. Caitlin Bridges there, Emma Kaiser, Samantha Wilson, the 41 this week, Bill Sandwich, Shuni Sue in the 62, Cheyenne Berkshire from Zachary Taylor Motorsports, or Indiana Motorsports, sorry, with team owner Zachary Taylor, that is. Alexander Underwood in the 70. Maxie Chilton in the 50 machine. Bradley Ream in the 47. This is the ride I was talking about that Lucy Granger ran five to six races in this car last season. Luca Rosso in the 44. This is the champion car from last season in the AutoZone Amateur Series with Ariel Moore driving that car. She drove the 30 last year. Tina Jones, not surprised seeing her in the familiar 36. That's the same race she is in this year. Curtis Glover, the South African driver in the field. There's Damian Sandiego, Trent Rogers, Annie Smith with Rickshaw Miller. Rickshaw Miller from the West Series last year. See if I missed anybody. I think I did miss somebody. I think that 81 is a driver I didn't discuss. Or actually, no, I did discuss the 81. There's Alicia. They're going to catch Elena Aurora and Brooke Packett. Brooke Packett is a Red Bull GT Series driver right now, or running in the Red Bull GT Series. Elena Aurora, an ex-GTS Array driver. Addison Peterson, of course, going for the Red Bull GT Series championship. She will be back to race that series next season. See Chilton, Judy Sue, Alexander Underwood, Ariel Moore, following Luca Rosso. Luca did okay in his first full season last year. Ariel Moore did win some races last year. One other thing I do need to mention is I talked about it from the first session. The drivers who are in backup cars and will have to go to the rear of the field. Timo Mauser, yes, he made the show, but because he was involved in a crash and gone to a backup car during qualifying, which, yes, he did get some laps in that backup car, he will have to go to the rear of the field tomorrow. Bradley Ream really getting close to Bill Sandwich. Samantha Wilson running a part-time schedule, going to be running 8 races in this series. We have 16 races for the ARCA series this season. Alexander Underwood. There's Luca Rosso. Josh Quake. Teammate to Trent Reynolds in the Trent Rogers, sorry. Speaking of Trent Reynolds, I may have him run some races in the Red Bull GT Series. Oh, Trent Rogers has gone up in smoke. Oh, please get off the track. There you go, Trent. The engine let go on Trent Rogers' number 57, and if he is still in the top 21, he will be going to the rear of the field to replace that engine. That's a tough break for Trent Rogers. And that should make this guy be a little bit concerned because his teammate blew up. Tina Jones, Ariel Moore, Luca Rosso, Brooke Packett on pit road, making some adjustments to get their cars handling the way they want it. Phelan Bradley in the 93. Let me see if Sarnes is 27th. Cheyenne Berkshire currently 4/1000ths of a second faster than Emma Kaiser. Either way, those two will more than likely make the show. Cheyenne Berkshire is a new driver. Did I see somebody blow up in the pits? Oh, no, it's the 57. Okay, never mind. At least the 57 made it back to the pits. I'll quickly put that new engine in there, try to get him back out. As long as the 57's in the top 21, which if he does make the top 21, he will have to start at the rear of the field as a result. Drake Robertson, 29th quickest. It looks like both of the Brad Smith Motorsports entries as of right now are will be unfortunately going home, which is a shame because that's going to be a team that really could not afford a DNQ, as they've caught Ariel Moore. Sarn's currently 28th quickest. Right now, she would be going home. Esther Roberts looks like she's in danger of going home. And here's a little surprise. The car that won the championship last year in the Amateur Series is more than likely going to go home. That's the big surprise, as Elena Aurora currently on the outside looking in. 36 of Tina Jones on the bubble. You do not want to see a wreck towards the end of this session. This is probably where this is good for Elena Aurora, trying to get a fast lap in. 63 is on the outside looking in. That's Addison Peterson. Of course, she's in this pack, so that's good for the two ladies. Addison Peterson, the 18-year-old. Elena Aurora, 31 years old. One's from the U.S., one is from Spain. Oh, yeah. Should I mention Skylar Davidson is in this pack? How fitting. How fitting Addison Peterson and Skylar Davidson found each other. How fitting is that? Lucy Granger's in the middle of a DVR sandwich with the 63 and the 35. That's funny. Oh, Elena Aurora picks it up. 55.919 wasn't fast enough. She's got plenty of time to try to go faster. Which the good news is she is in this pack here. 63 didn't go faster. She went slower. Ooh, Elena Aurora made the right call. Go down the inside because they caught the 58 at the worst time. Trent Rogers, hello there, son. Elena Aurora had to check up from not running into the back of Trent Rogers. Brooke Packett pulls out in front of Elena Aurora, trying to help her get a tow. She went a little slower by a couple of tenths. And let's see who jumped in. Fallon Bradley jumped into the top 21. Skylar Davidson is on the bubble, but she's in this pack right here. There she is. There are two Skylars that could make the race, Skylar Taylor and Skylar Davidson. But remember, Skylar Davidson is in this pack right here. And she's now been bumped, puts the 50 on the bubble. Looks like Trent Rogers got in. Bill Sandwich is in the top 21, but let's see what lap Skylar Davidson's going to put up. 55.745. That's not going to be good. 57 to the top of the timesheets. And there he is in this pack, Trent Rogers. But remember, he will have to go the rear of the field because of an engine change. Keep that in mind. Set a 55.121 to a 53.585. As we've had a wreck in turn number 3. Oh, look out. Oh, no. Liliana Beta crashed. Liliana Beta has crashed in the session. And, oh, we got more drivers. 75 is involved. The 60, let's see what caused this little, oh, contact between the 70 and the 75 preceded this. Emma Kaiser got a piece of it. Liliana Beta gets, I don't know if she got turned by Bradley Ream. She did. Nothing that Liliana could have done there. Maxie Chilton did a good job missing this crash. How that was not a lot of cars involved. Does Kaiser have any damage? Yeah, she's got a little hood buckle. They can get that fixed. 75 got some damage there. Looks like he'll have to come in to get it repaired. I don't know how in the world Maxie Chilton didn't get collected in that. Well, now the 57 has to go to a backup car as a result. And Addison Peterson made the top 21. As Skylar Davidson, who's now on the bubble because of that. Curtis Glover. Oh, boy. Could Cody Smart have two drivers from his team DNQ? Oh, boy, if that happens, oh, boy. I've been impressed with Kiki Honeyman in the 66. The Japanese driver doing a fantastic job. That's Felicia Tesser. Fabian Tesser's little sister. Bradley Ream coming back out onto the track. 48 of Drake Robertson got into the top 10. I noticed Luna Farmer's on the outside looking in. Good thing is for Skylar, she's got somebody to draft off of, and that would be the Sunny D Chevrolet of Bradley Ream. Bradley Ream is also another driver on the outside looking in. And of course, as I said, 14 drivers will join the other 14 who will not make the show. Sebastian Palmer is one of those drivers, as of now, would miss the show. He's got to pick up at least 300s on this lap. Can he do it? Survey says no is the answer. But Skylar Davidson bolted up to 17th because she got a tow from Maxie Chilton. That puts Bill Sandwich now on the bubble. Under a minute to go in this qualifying session. At 63 team is in. Of course, the 35 is in for now. I don't want to jinx it. But Skylar's been staying mostly with Bradley Ream, mostly with the 50 of Maxie Chilton. Let's see if she improves her time. She did not. Went a little bit slower. So Trent Rogers, despite A, blowing up, and B, getting involved in a wreck with Liliana Beta, is your fastest. But as I said, as that is it for qualifying, but hot laps will count for those that have already crossed the start-finish line. Right now, can anybody beat Bill Sandwich? I bet Skylar Taylor's probably a nervous wreck right now. Last chance for Sebastian Palmer. Can he pick up 3/10 to send Bill Sandwich home? The answer is no, as they have run out of time, and that is it. Trent Rogers makes the race. The 88, make sure that would be Scott Forrest made the show. Good for him. Addison Peterson, Josh Quake, Cheyenne Berkshire makes the show. Emma Kaiser, Samantha Wilson, Venko Seaman. So it looks like all three of the ex-GTS array drivers from DVR made the show. Good job to them. Ariel Moore, Drake Robertson, Lucy Granger, Elena Aurora, Alexandria Sarn, Suni Sue, Alexander Underwood, Brooke Packett, Skylar Davidson. So happy that I got some of my female drivers that are 18 in the show. Kiki Honeyman, Caitlin Bridges, Phelan Bradley. Both of the Bradley siblings will race tomorrow. And Bill Sandwich took home the final transfer spot. Unfortunately, the drivers who will not make the race tomorrow, Sebastian Palmer missed it by 23 hundredths. Esther Roberts and Curtis Glover. That's the big shocker right there. A driver who finished in the top 10 in last season's points did not make the show. Bradley Ream, Fabian Tesser, Luna Farmer, Luca Rosa, Liliana Beta, who is off to the care center right now, Maxie Chilton, tough break for Frank, Dylan Van Dyke, Tina Jones, Annie Smith, Damian San Diego, Rickshaw Miller. Those drivers will not make tomorrow's race. But that's going to do it from qualifying here today. We now know the 42 drivers that will race tomorrow. Question is, who will take home the checker flag tomorrow? You'll find out tomorrow, the same time as we do. So until then, bye-bye.